Alright, hello everyone. Today I'm going to be going over a nice little concept that I have that will essentially simplify a lot of the minute little things in the game. So, as you guys know, we have ultimate accelerants in the game, which are a bit of a weird item if you think about it, because it's very unique in the fact that it isn't a healing item, but it also isn't a survival slot. It's kind of like somewhere in between, where you can carry it in your inventory, and you can use it whenever you don't have your ultimate, and it just gives you a little percentage of it up. However, I always thought that was a little bit weird that this item was just it took so long. It took so long to activate. I think it's about 7 seconds to activate the ultimate accelerant, and you only get 30% of your ultimate cooldown, which is not really that much, especially for some characters like Mirage. 30% is about 10 seconds with the perk. So by the time you actually have it activated, you've already gained 30% with Mirage. And so for a while, I've always thought that it needs to get a little bit buffed, because I play a lot of characters, and the only character that I've actually felt like the ultimate accelerators have been kind of useful is Watson, because she actually has a perk, well, not really a perk, but a part of her passive where the ultimate accelerants actually give you your ultimate for free. Now, I feel like they should get buffed in some way, but I don't think it should be a full free ultimate. I don't think it should be that. I think what it should be is there shouldn't be any activation time. I think that's the main thing. I think there should be no activation time. And if you guys have seen the new event with Apex, you've seen these little data cards. They're these little cards that you can pick up and then hunt an enemy team. It's it's instant activation things like that I think we need to have a new group of item in the game. So for the ultimate accelerant, these new hunt items, if they were to ever become an actual item to stay in the game, these would be under the class of utility items rather than survival items. So it'd be a separate class, because survival items, you have an actual slot in your inventory that they go towards. These items are just just as soon as you pick them up, you get the effect straight away. It doesn't go in your inventory first. It doesn't do any of that. It just activates as soon as you pick it up. Now, of course, this will nerf a little bit of Watson with the fact that you can carry these ultimate accelerators to use whatever you want to get your ultimate. That of course does nerf that, but I think it was already quite weird that Watson worked like that. I personally think that they should buff Watson's ultimate cooldown instead of having a weird mechanic with ultimate accelerants. I think it was a little bit weird. I think initially the fact that I think it was probably because that was her passive before, and now she's actually got a bit of a passive now with the passive shield healing over time for Watson. So I think she actually has a pretty decent passive now without this. And so I think they should just remove that part from Watson and then just buff her ultimate. It'll do the same effect, and you get the ultimates the same amount. You don't have to carry random ultimate accelerants. So in a way, it's a buff overall for Watson. And it'll also be a buff for everyone else who plays the game, because it's going to be nicer. You're going to be able to go around the map and go, oh, there's ultimate accelerant, and you just literally click X on it, or whatever button is your interact, and you just pick it up and you automatically charge 35% immediately of your ultimate. That is a lot nicer, and it probably would also allow for a lot more clutch players as well, where you can run away from a squad, and then you don't quite have your ultimate yet, but then you find one of them and it's like, oh, I've got my ultimate, and then you can pull a really cool play. Now we've also got in this season the 𝗙𝗲𝘁𝗂𝗏 as well. This is another example of what I'm talking about with these utility items, where the instant activations. This is another one. You pick it up and it instantly gives you a full shield. There's no activation time. There's nothing like that. And all these items as well have a very common theme as well. The data pad for the hunt, the 𝗙𝗲𝘁𝗏, and of course the ultimate accelerant as well. These all have a very similar theme. They aren't actually survival items. They don't improve your survival exactly. They are more like utility. It's improving your base things on your character. So your shield, it's improving that. Your ultimate cooldown, it's improving that. And of course, the other thing is improving your awareness as well. So getting you to see the other squads as well around you. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with this, and just having instant activations is pretty good. Now, I still think that we do need more survival items. That is absolutely something that we do need. I just think there needs to be a distinction between the two, because currently these are not grouped under any category in the game. They are just gear items, I believe, or something like that. So the same category as like the helmet and stuff like that. But these them items actually go into an inventory slot. These just get consumed immediately. So I do believe these should be called utility items. I think it makes the most amount of sense. And it would be good because once we actually group these by category, then we can actually start adding more to them, and there could be a bit of a consensus around this topic. Now, survival items. What do we have for survival items? Well, you will also see a little bit of a common theme with the survival items as well, is that in these screenshots you can see that they have different like portable like device thingies. You can see here that the guy's holding it in the screenshot. You can see a little like the little remote control type of thing. This is for the evac tower. This is of course for the heat shield that you guys probably will know what these are. And this is of course for the mobile res beacon as well. So you can obviously see that these items have got a bit of common ground here. Whereas all the instant activation things, they don't. It's just instant activations. You pick them up, there you go, you're sorted, you're done. With these, you have to activate them to do it. So obviously what we might activate is going into your inventory or clicking the button for the survival slot to then pull them out, to then click, to then activate. And a lot of them don't even activate straight away. The evac tower has a little bit of a cooldown to actually go up. The heat shield, I mean, that one pretty much activates straight away. There was a little bit of a delay. And of course, the mobile res beacon does take a little bit of time to come down as well. So these things are not instant. The other ones are instant. As soon as you pick that up, you get the effect with the ones that I mentioned at the start of the video. So I think this little distinction, as I said before, is going to be good for adding new items. I have made a video in the past of a load of new survival items. I'll just briefly go over them right now. So of course, this is just, I'm going to go over all these items. This is going to wrap up the video for you guys. So the first one is the doppelganger item, where you essentially get another legend's ability as an additional ability for your survival item. And I would probably assume this is going to be a one-time use rather than in the limited time mode when it was an infinite use. And then we have the node tracker here. I really love this item. I thought it was really good. It gave you like very low tier items, but it was very quick to use. You picked it up, you went to the location as said, and you got just a few little items. And I'm pretty sure it was also smart loot as well, which is really good. Now we also had the medium shield capacitor, which was leaked a while back, but I actually think this is kind of like a utility ability, where you click on it and it will just shield how much shields of yourself. If you were low on shields, it will be an instant shield swap in a way. And then we have the ammo bandolier, also the same thing. It seems like very much like a utility ability rather than a survival item, like a permanent change rather than a temporary one. Once again, it would go for all the different ammo types. I think it should just be inventory slots, personally. Now, of course, there are some leaked ones as well. So this is the ammo case as well. So essentially what it would be is you put it down and you would fill your two weapons to the max. I'm assuming other teammates as well. We also have a movement ability as well with the mobile teleporter, so you're able to put down a device and then teleport to it whenever you want. I think this is pretty cool as a survival item. I do think this is a really good implementation of a movement ability, personally. Now there's one other utility item that I really think would be pretty cool, and this would be like some sort of UAV scan, similar to the map room scan and like the survey scan, but it would be in a very short, like small area around you. So if you find this thing and you're getting chased or something, you can just quickly scan it and it'll just tell you in the nearby area if there's anyone actually there. Just to like calm you down a little bit and just make sure that you actually, you know, it's essentially like pulling out Crypto's drone and checking the banners. It's the same kind of thing. And a cool suggestion for a survival item as well is a little, very, very small crouch cover wall. So basically Rampart's wall, but smaller, only fit for one person, and it does not have the amped part on it either. So it's literally like a dimmed down Rampart wall. I think this would be pretty cool for a survival item as well. Just for especially them players that don't have any defense, to have this little bit of defense that might help. But yeah, I would like to know what you guys think about all this. And yeah, would you like utility items to be named that in the game? And what survival or utility items would you like to be added into Apex? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.